I have never been known for being an early riser. There are very, very few times where I will prepare myself to have like a nice early morning, and going into Glasgow to record classical music is one of them. As usual, I need my tea, otherwise I become violent on session. So now that I've got that, let's get packed and let's go.
This is also one of those rare times where I get to see Sarah in the morning. Yeah, that sums it up. Today I am off to Glasgow and I'm assisting Chandos setting up microphones for recording Walton's cello concerto in BBC Glasgow. Hopefully what you'll see from this is some of Chandos' approach to location recording and a chance to see what experiencing professional life as a location recording engineer is. That's all I can say for now in my tired state. Let's go get some breakfast.
Hello, Matt from the future here. Make sure that you eat as much as you can before, during and after your sessions, because usually these things are pretty tightly timed. I'm also one of those people that tends to get really grumpy if I haven't eaten in a long time. And in a situation where you have to rely really carefully on communication, it's always a good idea to make sure you take out any limiting factors that could affect your communication, and in my experience, being hangry is one of them.
Okay, now that I've had some tea and I'm no longer violent, let's go to Glasgow.
Another thing I like to do on these sessions is take other bits and bobs of work with me. So in this example, I'm taking some drums editing to do on the train. 6 months after this was shot, actually, I got some AirPod Pros, which have allowed me to actually get on with some mix work on the train without disturbing other passengers with open-backed headphones. Anyway, the point of all this is be mindful to take something with you, because you never know if there's going to be like a massive load of hanging around.
Hey, look who turned up. How's it going, man? Might have an orchestra. Yep, let's do it.
I've managed to catch Alex very briefly in his hotel room. Nothing nondescript about that. But yeah, I was going to ask you, tell us about the session, tell us about how we've got microphones rigged, tell us about the networking as well. That's awesome.
So it depends who's engineering where we are. In Glasgow, we tend not to go for a spaced pair of omnis. Some sessions we have Tersons pretty spaced, but they're still not omnis as the main pickup. Also not subcardioids, so Tersons have a knob
kind of in between.
Yeah, like AKG 4 and 4s.
Is it spaced or is it stepped?
Stepped.
Yeah.
So it's not a continuous knob. It's between omni and subcardioid, so that halfway point between the two. In Glasgow, we tend to go for sort of near coincident, not quite ORTF, subcardioid Sherps MK22s for the main pickup. We'll go for some outriggers. Older engineers call them end stops. And then just a bunch of spots. We were doing a cello concerto, so want a cello spot, sort of near space pair on them with a couple of backup mics just in case they come handy for the surround sound or whatever. That's useful.
It kind of sounds like tone shaping with guitar cabs and things.
Where
you essentially you have the different frequency response to the different microphones and you choose whatever sounds best at the time. Continuing on from this, we obviously had to connect these up to something. Tell me about the fibre, because everyone who knows me knows that I use Dante kind of religiously, even in my home setup as well. Yeah. But you guys pretty much just use MADI or fibre, so tell me more about that. How does it all work?
Yeah, so we've got our main pickup, outriggers and surround microphones. That all goes into a stage box of some description, and that stage box we use Studio Vista, which operates on MADI. I don't know if it's what protocol Studio itself uses, but it goes from our stage box over fibre into the Studio core. The desk that we use is just a control surface for a core that does all the processing. So the desk is pretty lightweight, There's no inputs on the back of it. It's just monitoring and that jazz. You can control the preamps that are in the stage box. So the preamps are all in the stage box. There's no inputs for microphones on the core or the desk. It's all on the stage box. Mics go into stage box with just regular mic cables. Stage box connects to the core via 2 fibers, and then just a bunch of Ethernet cables connect the core to the desk. The core goes to a Emerging Technologies Horus, which is essentially a fat interface. Yeah, you've got a Horus with a 64 MADI I/O over an optical connection to the core, and then the Horus outputs over Ethernet cable, so audio over IP, to a laptop. That's our recording software. That's what we use. We use Piraxa on our laptop.
The next thing obviously I have to ask is, for this project, when's it coming out?
I don't know. About 90%, 95% of sessions, we have a rough idea, but generally we don't have a hard, this is when it's coming out. I've only ever once seen a disc on a release schedule with a recording date that's in the future. It's all, always, other than that one that I've seen, it's always already happened. And sometimes I look at it and think, oh my God, we've only just recorded that. So whoever's editing it is under a lot of pressure to do it quickly. So it's uploaded in time to be printed and distributed worldwide. Usually it's about 8 or 9 months is an average record. That's how much time it is between recording and the release.
We're going to go eat, and we're going to get stuffed, and we're going to get sloshed, and then I'm going to go to sleep, and I will see you guys in my kitchen. Be good, don't die.